Hello, Internet. Let's talk fights.
Ryan Salisbury! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Savage Gentleman Show, episode 2. Next fight on the card is Neil Magny versus Mike Malott. Ryan, what you got for Mike Malott?
Mike Malott. He trained at Team Alpha Male for a while. Very pretty, striking, bit of the gentleman, you can say. Canadian. They're known for being super nice, classy. And I think his fight style speaks to that. He wants this to be a clean, clear-cut affair. He likes to stay very far out. He will start open stance more often than not. If his opponent's southpaw, he'll come out orthodox, touch their lead hand, keep range and distance between them. If they come out southpaw, or orthodox rather, he will come out southpaw and match them. Same thing, touching the lead hand, maintaining a lot of distance. This gives him time to set things up. One of the things he loves to go to in the striking is the open side body kick. There's a lot of space. It lands so much better on this front side of the body than towards their rear and their back, and he will blast this kick in from open stance. Once he's hurt his opponent, landed it successfully, Mike Malott likes to upshift. This is a very useful tool in any striker's kit. He is switching his stance. He's bringing his rear leg all the way through and turning it into his lead leg. And he'll come up with his hook cross. He used this technique to drop Adam Fugit. There's a couple ways you could say that name, but I'm pretty sure that's the best one. Then he proceeded to jump on his neck with a guillotine, the patented alpha male guillotine. High elbow, nasty. He is great at this technique. He's got multiple finishes with it. This is going to be a fun fight. What do you have for Neil Magny?
Neil Magny, if you don't know his name, you should. This guy is a UFC legend. He is the leader for most wins in UFC welterweight history, most fights in UFC welterweight history, most fight time. He's been around forever, and he has fought everybody. Robbie Lawler,
Johnny
Carlos
Hendricks.
Condit, Johnny Hendricks, Hector Lombard.
Kelvin Gastelum.
You name a scary, dangerous fighter, he's fought him, and he's beat plenty of them. This is one of those guys that on any given night could beat anybody. He's a true vet. He has one of the longest builds in the division, and he uses it really well. One of his favorite tools on the feet is going to be his jab. He doesn't just throw a single jab out and bring it back to his face. He has a lot of different ways he likes to throw it and a lot of different things he likes to do with it. One of them is looking to double jab. One of them is looking to jab and then hook with the same hand. One of them is looking to touch and mess with your lead hand while he hand fights and then find his jab cross. So most of his favorite strikes are straight punches because, like we said, he's got that very long build. He's the welterweight John Jones, but a nicer person. And then, the other thing he does really, really well is grappling. He can do it all in the grappling, but one of the things he really excels in is getting to clinches. Again, those long arms come into use. We can wrap them around his opponent's back, tying up their wrists, sometimes with both arms on the wrist, and then dumping them to the ground from a side clinch. That's one of his best spots for takedowns. Neil Magny is so well-rounded, been there, done that. He's not scared of anybody. He's got amazing cardio. I think there's a very good chance he could take off this fight with his veteran experience, but we're going to find out. What do you think for a prediction?
I think Mike Malott has looked great. He hasn't fought anyone to the caliber of Neil Magny, and he hasn't been tested. I think Neil Magny is the one to test him. Test his conditioning, test his heart, test his wrestling, test his clinch, push him everywhere. The more aggressive Neil Magny is, the higher of a pace he can push, and the uglier, dirtier, meaner this fight looks, the better. I see Neil Magny getting this one done by decision.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance this fight does go to decision. Malott is going to look to swing. He might even have some big moments, but Magny's very hard to get out of there, and he's almost impossible to win a decision against, especially with the style of Mike Malott that's looking for one big shot at a time, where Neil Magny is looking for more volume, looking for takedowns and that control. I think this fight favors Magny. We're going to see him take it away with a decision.
Let's go, Magny.